Welcome to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon versus Legends, where we take a deep dive into the Star Wars universe, such as characters, creatures, stories, and so much more. Hosted by Ben of Temeria and Kadojo.
Welcome back, Adepts, Acolytes, to another episode of Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. I am one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my good friend, Kadojo.
Hello there.
And we are taking a break from High Republic. We went over the Path of the Open Hand. We went over the Nihil. So we are going to dive in. This episode is all canon, but eventually we will dive into some legend stuff since we haven't talked about legends in a little bit. Going over different Sith cults. And Dojo brought up this idea of doing Sith cults. I thought, it's like, hey, let's do these two because we haven't talked about them yet. They're in canon. There's not a whole much about them, and one does lead into the other. And then we can do all the, like, a bunch of Legends ones, because my God, there's a lot of Sith cults in Legends.
Yeah,
or like
in
dark
canon,
Sith organizations.
Yeah, and in canon, there's really, besides Palpatine and his Sith line of Sith, God, that's bad. There's really not that many other Sith cults that we know of besides the Sith Eternal.
Yep.
Which
we'll cover today.
And the
you talking about Knights of Ren?
Beyond. Yeah, Knights of Ren.
Knights of Ren, and then which does happen during the High Republic era, I think. Yeah.
No, Knights of Ren is sequel era.
Yeah, but I think the organization itself starts way earlier.
I don't know when they started.
I don't remember how they tied it all together. There's something they tied. And then obviously there's some, Acolyte stuff that from the Acolyte show that we would have seen, and hopefully maybe we'll get a season 2 to where they will actually dive into it, but we'll see.
Well, see, that's part of the Sith, actual Palpatine Sith line, as far as I'm concerned.
Are you talking about, like, specifically with, like, Plagueis and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess, yeah.
The female cult, I guess. What do they call themselves? The witches. I really didn't consider them a Sith cult. They were more of a Force users, because we really never see them use dark side Force other than controlling the Wookiee.
True. We could also throw in the Dathomirians. They're not quote unquote Sith, but they do deal with the dark side of the Force with their own magics. So they kind of like do both. So I would say that would be kind of a cult. But anyway, so today, the first half, we're going to go talk about the Acolytes of the Beyond. And then second half, we'll talk about the Sith Eternal. Both of these are in the sequel era. So the Acolytes of the Beyond, also known as simply as the Acolytes, were a cult of dark side fanatics who came to renounce during the last year of the Galactic Civil War. They developed into a network of cells across the galaxy during the start of the era of the New Republic. These religious zealots were also known for sacrificing of sentinel beings and allegedly consulting with specters of the fallen Sith. Yeah, so things get pretty dark pretty quick.
My question is how are there so many dark side fanatics become so prevalent in the last year of the Galactic Civil War? There's no way Palpatine knew he was gonna die and started all these cults.
No, God, no. And then also the Acolytes of the Beyond is specifically from the Star Wars comics of the sequel era, I believe. I think it's mostly comics. There might be some in some of the books as well. So after the death of Darth Vader during the Battle of Endor and the birth of the New Republic, the Acolytes of the Beyond emerged and followed the Sith religion and purchased what they could believe was the fallen Dark Lord of the Sith's lightsaber, intending to return it to him in death. 2 months after purchasing the lightsaber, the Acolytes staged a revolution in Coronet City on Corellia prior to the Battle of Jakku. Acolyte cells throughout the galaxy launched a series of coordinated attacks against the New Republic enclaves and outposts on various worlds, including Davaron.
I do not remember any of this.
Again, pretty sure this is comics. because
Okay.
there's a lot of Star Wars comics. A lot. The Acolytes of the Beyond was a shell of its former time by the time the Jedi Luke Skywalker and researcher Lor Sinteka found them, before they seamlessly all but disappeared sometime before 21 ABY, fading into history.
Yeah.
So it's a quick little overview.
Yeah, that is quick. I mean, don't have much for them, do we?
No. So getting a little bit deeper, so the Acolytes of the Beyond consisted of non-force sensitive individuals who called themselves Shadows. The Shadows regarded themselves as all the living things as slaves to the Force, which they perceived as a river of power. They believed that the only Force users who wielded the dark side of the Force were capable of changing their currents. They regarded the Sith as river breakers who did not succumb to fate. The Acolytes worshipped fallen Sith who had gone beyond the veil.
Wow, that really is some cult level.
Yeah,
stuff
this
right
is
there.
this is a straight up cult. This is not, and like I said, they are not Force wielders. These are non-Force sensitives.
This isn't pondering of the Force. They just really are just cults thinking, oh, we're slaves to the Force and the Sith can set us free.
Pretty much. So many Acolytes also received dreams from fallen Sith. The Dream Master of the Acolytes was Yup Tashu, who recruited many of the cult's members. Former Acolyte Kumat even pondered if the Acolyte Kiza, who was joined after receiving Force visions, has been given these visions by Tashu, presumably through the use of an unknown Sith artifact.
Okay, so Yup Tasha was one of the Palpatine's top advisors. So this is where they come from. This is one of his advisors getting close to Palpatine, realizing what Palpatine is, and then starting a cult around him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Yeah, things are. This is a very interesting thing. Because I was doing the research and doing the show notes for these, and I was like, wow, never knew these guys existed, but this is pretty cool. Dark, but cool. So the Acolytes were led by the masters such as Tashu, who communicated with fallen Sith specters. According to Komat, Tashu hoped to use the Acolytes to restore the dark side power to the galaxy with himself as its ruler. The Acolytes also revered various Sith artifacts, including lightsabers and helmets, since they were imbued with the power of the dark side. Dun dun. While the Acolytes initially stole lightsabers in order to sacrifice to the Sith beyond, they began to keep the ancient weapons following the rise of the New Republic, and given a lightsaber was considered a great honor. As Sith devotees, the Acolytes opposed the new order brought by the New Republic. During the last stage of the Galactic Civil War, the Acolytes embarked on a campaign to arm resistance against the government. The Acolytes were known as the Mark of Vader.
Oh yeah, with the name of the Mark of Vader, you're going to win a lot of people over.
Yeah, right.
Considering he was one of the most feared beings in the galaxy at the time.
Well, that and, everybody knows he's dead. Like, his death was recorded.
Yeah.
Like, it was reported and confirmed. So,
yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Well, only by, one person, that was Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, but again, are you going to discredit the guy who took down the Emperor? I wouldn't. Yeah. That's the last person I would try to discredit.
Did you know they made a what if comic of an alternate reality of Return of the Jedi where Vader returned to the light side
and stayed alive?
It stayed alive. He had the exact same armor except it was all white, and Palpatine was still alive. And they had to hunt him down. But my question is, I wonder what these Acolytes would have thought of that Vader.
Ooh, that'd be a good question. So now diving into their history. So with the rise of the Acolytes, so during the Battle of Endor, the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Vader, was killed after sacrificing his life to kill his Sith master, Darth Sidious, the Emperor of the Galactic Empire. Several months later, the group known as the Acolytes of the Beyond came into contact with Kubaz, a junk dealer named Ublaman on the planet of Terrace. Terrace, you say? who claimed to possess the red-bladed lightsaber that had belonged to the Dark Lord. 3 acolytes of the Beyond purchased the lightsaber from Obliman, intended to destroy it and return it to Vader in death.
Yeah, and into previous things, like they stole the lightsabers to sacrifice from the Sith. All of a sudden, Sith aren't top power. Maybe we should hang on to these powerful weapons for a little while.
I'm curious, is this the first mention of Terrace was first canonically mentioned in the 2014 novel Tarkin? Oh shoot, this almost
Really?
directly apparently right when the right after the buyout, or when Disney took over, they immediately made Terrace canon again. I didn't know that. Huh.
Admiral Wolfen.
That's cool.
Honor received.
It's in Aftermath, apparently.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that just made me happy. All right, moving on.
I remember it being in Terrace because that was the first time I heard of it.
So Ublaman was unsure if it was Vader's lightsaber, but the transaction was carried out nonetheless. Sidious's former advisor Yup Tashu, who was also currently the foremost expert on the dark side of the Force, joined the Acolytes with his partner, a Sith assassin known as Ochi of Bastoon,
who is overrated.
Oh.
He features prominently in the comics and
he shows up
the Luke and Lando book.
Yeah, but he has a on-screen appearance.
Well, his body was found in the second sequel movie.
Was it?
Oh god, what was it called? I'm trying to remember.
I'm looking here.
What was this?
Cover art, flashback.
Rise of Skywalker.
First appearance. Oh, flashback and hologram, as well as the skeleton in Rise of Skywalker. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you see a photo of his character design and like actual person. All right, anyway, so during the revolution in Coronet City on the planet of Corellia, another acolyte, a boy named Remy, who called himself Oblivion, was arrested. He was taken to a nearby station where he was freed by the Pantorian Kiza, a secret member of the organization. Together, they killed all but one of the detectives in the station, cutting off his hand. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's very culty.
They go hard. They go very hard.
Yeah. So while the other acolytes rampaged through the streets of Coronet City, Kiza and Remy infiltrated the archives underneath the station and stole a lightsaber. Remy became the owner of the lightsaber, was influenced by the dark side presence inside the object. While the acolytes had initially stolen Sith lightsabers to sacrifice to the Sith beyond, they began to keep them as a group began to embark on the policy of armed resistance against the New Republic, the successor to the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah. And being a lightsaber influencing a kid, a dark side lightsaber, isn't unheard of in, what was it, the Red Blade Inquisitor or something like that book? It's described that all the Inquisitors were given missions, but when they weren't on missions, they could do whatever they want. Yeah. And so they would go out and search for dark side artifacts. And a lot of these artifacts, while weak, still give off dark side energies.
Right. Yep.
So they would keep them and collect them in their own room.
Yep. So by 5 ABY, the Acolytes of the Beyond had developed into a network of cells across the galaxy. They were led by several masters, including Tashu, who worshipped fallen Sith. In the period leading up to the Battle of Jakku, the Acolytes launched a series of coordinated strikes against the New Republic outposts and enclaves in various worlds. Tashu led a 24-member cell on the planet of Deveron. During an attack on a small New Republic outpost, the mission on Deveron would reveal to the Acolytes that Tashu was their leader.
Deveron.
What, Deveron? The planet?
Yeah, Battle Jakku Aftermath. Just sounds familiar.
Everything sounds familiar.
Yeah. Like
first appeared in Star Wars The Clone Wars Rookies. On the episode Rookies is what it's called. but it's from the Clone Wars. It's actually, there's multiple episodes in the Clone Wars. Cargo of Doom, Children of the Force, Monster, Witches of the Mist, and Paths Unknown, and Bad Batch. So, okay. So prior to the attack, Tashu gifted the mask of Viceroy Exim Panchard to Kiza. He was well aware that Panchard's persistence survived in the mask and intended to use Kiza as a tool for galactic conquest rather than sacrifice his own will by wearing the mask itself. When Remy demanded the mask for himself, Tashu chastised him and handed his lightsaber to Kiza.
Yeah. And so there's at least one other canonical mask that has a Sith presence that can take over people. It was during one of the Vader comics where some Sith was a architect and engineer who built things. And Palpatine gave Vader this mask. Vader then put the mask on some Imperial lackey and started to build up Vader's castle, iconic castle on Mustafar. And whenever he didn't like the castle, he cut off the head, picked up the mask, and put the mask on a new person.
Yep. So during the attack on the New Republic outpost, the Acolytes brandished various weapons, including clubs, machine chop blades, chop axes, and were all painted red. Kiza was possessed by the dark side presence of Panchard inside the mask. When Remy tried to reclaim his lightsaber, Kiza killed him. Her fellow Acolyte Komat also claimed that she killed Tashu, but Tashu actually died in the Battle of Jakku. Dun dun. And then by now going into the fall, so by the time Jedi Luke Skywalker and researchers Laura Santeca follow the lead on the lightsaber of Dark Noctis to the Acolytes and found them, the group was the shell of its former self. They managed to convince Komat to give up the life of the Acolytes and redeem herself. At some point before the mission to Pasana of 21 ABY, the Acolytes no longer existed, but Uchi had instead become a follower of the Sith Eternal under the resurrected Sidious. After they reached out to him with a new mission, find Sidious's granddaughter Rey, around that same time, Kiza was killed during a duel against Skywalker, and the spirit of Panchard was destroyed with his mask during the subsequent skirmish.
Now, look at the lightsaber of Darth Noctis. It looks like a light whip. It says it's a sickle blade. It's a sickle blade lightsaber, which I find
that's awesome.
And they have a picture of it. Where
is that is sick. It's from first appearances in Life Immortal Dark Legends, which is in a flashback, which is a short story published in Dark Legends. The story is authored by George Mann, by the way, great author, illustrated by Grant Griffin, published in 2020. Oh yeah, and this is the tale details Darth Noctis search for immortality, and like the cover art is like with him with his saber. Okay, we might have to do an episode on this guy. This sounds awesome. Okay,
so it is a picture, not a.
Yeah, it's the cover
with a Sith throne behind him.
Yeah, it looks.
And this
sick.
is from Legends?
No, this is canon.
And why did it say Legends?
No, that's
2022.
It's part of a series called Dark Legends, where it's legends of like the dark side of the Force, kind of a thing.
Okay.
That sounds awesome. I did not know there was a thing. Now I do. This is great. All right, cool. Something else we can do later. All right, and then with the legacy, so during his time on Exegol, the resurrected Sidious spoke highly of their actions. He was particularly pleased about the Acolytes' comprehension of the dark side being key to victory. Despite not having the proper connection to the Force to make use of themselves, he also approved their altered focus from destroying Sith Arcana to collecting them. Sidious believed that the Acolytes were helping further the cause due to the presence of several extreme loyalists in their ranks.
Stop destroying my stuff!
Pretty much.
Stop it!
Pretty much what Sidious was saying. And then behind the scenes, the Acolytes of the Beyond first appeared in the 2015 novel Aftermath, written by Chuck Wendig. So it was the novel. It was the novel Aftermath, not the comics.
Yeah.
So, which 2015. There you go. All right. Well, with that said, let's take a quick mid break. Thank our patrons, and we'll be right back.
Hey, I like your new RAV4.
Thanks, yours too.
What does RAV stand for anyway?
To me, it's the Remarkably Advanced Vehicle.
Really? To me, it's the runway approved vehicle for its amazing style.
What about Remarkably Adaptable Vehicle because of its versatile cargo space?
Or really admired vehicle?
Oh, or Really Awesome Vehicle.
It really is the recreational activity vehicle. The stylish 2026 Toyota RAV4 Limited. What's your RAV4?
All right, welcome to the Middle Show. Talk about everything podcast. Has nothing to do with the lore of Star Wars. Here, I want to thank all our amazing patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And if you too want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/holocronhistories, where you can get ad-free episodes or even join us once a month on the show itself. You can also leave us ratings and reviews on Apple and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review on Apple with some words or a nice Spotify comment. Read it out loud next time on the show. Oh, I just sneezed. I do have some comments on Spotify. So, Emperor Nightwolf comments saying, the Sith Empire has officially taken over this podcast's comment section, and we are asking people to join us. Okay. Well, welcome, Sith Empire. And then Jeremiah J says, do y'all enjoy Star Wars comics? If so, do you have any recommendations of some good ones to get? I've got a few, including my current favorite, Boba Fett, Red, White, and Black. When I go to my local comic store, there's so many options. I'm not sure which ones to get first. So with the comics, I mean, you can really start almost anywhere. There's not really a particular order you need to read anything in unless it's like a specific series, like the High Republic stuff. You want to read that from issue 1 and on.
I would say pick an era like the Clone Wars, the Galactic Empire, the sequel era, Legends, High Republic. Pick an era you like and start reading those comics, because most of them are self-contained, but the mainline Star Wars, the Darth Vader, and Dr. Aphra all interconnect from time to time. Yeah. So that could be a little confusing.
Yeah, there's some that interconnect, some that a lot of the comics are like Dojo's saying are generally self-contained, so they're not too crazy. Honestly, I would get a trade back, read issues 1 through whatever on a trade back, and continue with that. And yeah, choose what era you want to like dive into. I mean, I have the Old Republic comics. I have I have the library edition, so it's issues 1 through 50 or something stupid. It's like there's like 60 to 80 comics from the Old Republic era in that one gigantic book. Yeah, it's massive. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you can start really anywhere. And then you can also find us at a few different Discord servers, the Robot Studio Discord at robotstudio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Band of Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can find this show and all the other shows that I host, which are the Dragon Ball Lorecast, the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Gundam Lorecast, Wizarding World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. And then as far as news goes...
Collector's Edition. Zero Company.
Zero Company is going to collector's edition through specifically limited run, so you have till August 31st to pre-order it. They are only going to make that many that many versions of it. You will get the game. They did confirm if you pre-order early, you'll get the game and the deluxe edition code ahead of time, but before the physical merch. That way you can play the game at launch.
Tell them the price.
Oh, God. It's really, really cool. I don't know if it's $300 cool, but it's cool. I mean, there's some really... I mean, at San Diego Comic-Con, they... Oh, do you? So at San Diego Comic-Con, Hasbro announced they're doing a Black Series thermal detonator replica. It makes lights and sounds and all this. I don't know if they ever said the price of it.
No.
but it's a small, like, actual, like, full-size thermal detonator. The collector's edition for Zero Company will have a exclusive variant version of that thermal detonator. It's a different color, has this, like, looks like battle worn. I don't know if the original thermal detonator will do this or not, but they did say for the variant version, it'll have 2 modes to where you can turn it into a droid popper.
Yeah.
Instead of doing the thermal detonator noise. And I was like, man, I don't know if this $300 cool, but it's really cool.
So let's quickly go over what's in this real quick.
Okay.
Certificate of authenticity, a steel book, a premium foil stamp book, a quote-unquote retro jewel case, and it looks just like an old CD case.
It's a CD-ROM case. It's freaking hilarious.
The thermal detonator, a logo pin of Zero Company, a trick pin of the Clone Trooper, a 31-inch by 12-inch desk mask of Zero Company logo, character cards, and about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 patches.
Okay. Again, I don't know if it's $300 cool. And
the game.
Oh yeah, you also get the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. With the deluxe edition stuff as well. I don't know if it's $300 cool. Like, I would like to know how much the thermal detonator is first before I would want to pre-order that. So
See,
I mean,
don't think I want to.
I think the thermal detonators. I don't think it's going to be no more than $50.
Yeah, I mean the thermal detonator.
It's not.
It's the only thing I want
huge.
out of that collection.
Yeah,
It's the only thing I want in the collection.
I mean, if I'm going to get a thermal detonator, I'll just go buy a $50 version, just the standard version of it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I really like the color for the thermal detonator for this one, because the standard one is like the brownish gray.
Yeah, it doesn't look.
This one's more of like a
rough and tumble.
Yeah, this one is more like a silverish black, which looks really cool. And I was like, I don't know.
Well, this one looks more dirty, worn.
Yeah.
Covered in mud, maybe.
And the packaging is different too, because they show the packaging for the standard thermal detonator is going to have Bosch, which is Leia's disguise from Return. That's going to be the cover for the thermal detonator and all that, where the thermal detonator from this, the variant will say from Star Wars Zero Company with Trick on the cover for the thermal detonator. So it is different. Again, I don't know if it's going to be, is it $300 worth it? Is it not? Like, with FanFest that just ended for Final Fantasy, I have my money going towards something else later on.
Sorry.
What?
You said something about Final Fantasy, and I was looking at something.
Oh.
And the person who did his Yoshi P's Viper outfit also did his Bastion outfit.
Oh, that's cool.
Little Jim.
You know, he'll probably. I don't know if he's going to dress up for Tokyo, but that's a whole different part. That's tomorrow's recording for FanFest. Go listen to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, where we're going to have a recap for FanFest if you're into Final Fantasy. But yeah, I don't know if it's $300 cool. I don't know. We'll see. I might get it. I might not get it. I'm leaning towards no. I'll just rather just go get the regular thermal detonator. Yeah. Hopefully, it has the droid popper version, like function on the standard one. I would imagine it would.
Yeah.
But here's my thing from Sando Comic-Con. Okay. Also, they did not announce any Star Wars news, by the way, for films or anything. It was just mainly Hasbro stuff. It's whatever. If they're doing thermal detonators now as replicas, or are they going to do blasters? Because I'm all fine and dandy if, Hasbro makes some blasters here. Be pretty cool. Would they sell it at Disney? No, because they're not allowed to sell blasters. That's what. Hey, by the way, if you go to Disney World or Disneyland, there's a reason why you don't see any blasters anywhere. It's because shootings happen, and they don't want people getting confused.
Yeah.
So.
Well, doesn't the Mandalorian guy?
Well, they carry blasters.
Mandalorian carry one?
They'll carry blasters, like the cast members do. but they're cast members. You can tell.
Well, they might have really toy-like blasters.
Yeah, I think they do
it's
have
obvious toys.
It's like all white.
Yeah.
I think they have an all white blaster for like stormtroopers and stuff for kids, but like that's it.
Yeah.
Like something super little stuff. No, I don't know if there was. No, actually they don't sell any blasters for Star Wars. The last time I was there.
Not real looking ones now.
No, like full on. They don't sell them at all.
Really? Not even the last ones?
No, because the when I went to the First Order depot, they had like the baton, the electro baton, but that was like the only like weapon they were selling for kids. And like obviously there's lightsabers, but that's it. Yeah, it's a Disney thing. It's whatever. All right, let's get back into the episode and now talk about the Sith Eternal. Alright, so the Sith Eternal. So this is the cult of the Sith Eternal, which was a secretive sect of the Sith cultists who worship the dark side of the Force, as well as the Dark Lord of the Sith and Galactic Emperor Darth Sidious, as Sith loyalists were instrumental in the preservation of the religion after the Sith Order was destroyed. So the Sith Eternal and their followers were spread throughout the galaxy and within the workings of the First Order, while those on Exegol created a fleet of hundreds of new generation Star Destroyers and amassed legions of well-trained soldiers. The existence of the Sith Eternal was safeguarded secret, and even those in the upper echelon of the First Order unaware of their operation.
Now, see, I doubt they actually built these Star Destroyers. I think they modified some of the original ones because in one of the Aftermath books, it stated that there are like hundreds of Star Destroyers. And when the Empire ended, they just kind of mostly disappeared. No one really knew what happened to them. I mean, they got a few, but like a vast majority of them just disappeared. So I'm wondering if they got sent to Exegol to be...
Oh, more than likely. More than likely. And also, like, there's no way they're going to build hundreds of Star Destroyers in 30 years. By the way, from Return of the Jedi to Rise of Skywalker is a 30-year gap. There is no way they're going to do this in 3 decades.
No. So I'm guessing these are just retrofitted Star Destroyers they saved before the New Republic took over.
Probably.
Fully.
So the reach of the Sith Eternal was vast. Their operations extended beyond the Veil of the Unknown Regions, with Sith loyalists serving as the executive boards of various galactic corporations, such as Sonara Jamus and Kuwait Intralia, allowing them to secretly funnel supplies and designs to Exegol through various intermediaries. For years, Sith loyalists toiled in secret to achieve their final stage in the First Order's long gesturing plan of conquest. Among their ranks was scientists, engineers, technicians, shipwrights, and enslaved labor, responsible for the creation of hundreds of warships and thousands of starfighters.
Yeah. Again, not creation. I guessing more retrofits.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of both.
A lot of them had that Death Star laser underneath their belly.
True.
So I'm guessing that's what they did for 30 years. Is just put that up there.
Yeah. So the younger generation of Sith cultists embodied the principles of the Sith Eternal and believed that the galaxy was theirs to rule by cosmic right. Ultimately, the Sith Eternal coupled technology and the occult to bring forth unnatural embodiments of the dark side, thus furthering a quest to resurrect the Sith tradition. The cultists of Exegol wore a style of apparel designed to conceal their identities, included oversized robe, gloves, face coverings, and a multi-layered hood whose length depended on the wearer's years of service to the Sith.
Now, there was an episode of South Park where they were all bald and you couldn't tell them apart. I wonder if this happened to them too. It's like, hey, Bob, is that you? No, I'm Jerry. Where's Bob? I don't know who Bob is.
Oh my god. So, steeped in the Sith ancient traditions, the Sith Eternal utilized utilize modern and highly advanced science, specifically bioengineering, cloning, and behavior programming, in turn, all specifically of comedian origin, in their quest to help Darth Sidious achieve eternal life. To this end, the cultists frequently experimented with their master's genetic code, attempting to grow a stable clone modeled on the Emperor's template.
Now,
Yeah.
they sort of touched on this after the sequel trilogies
They
with
did.
Bad Batch. I don't know if it was the second or... Was there 3 seasons or
There's
was it
3.
just the 2? Yeah.
There's 3.
On the 3rd season, they touched... This was like the center focus of the season, essentially.
Yeah, they used it kind of like to how Bad Batch would eventually like go into like a legacy kind of a style, towards like where does this lead into, and eventually yes, it goes into the overarching story in the sequels, which is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I mean that's really cool, like planning and like them going back and like filling in holes and stuff like that. Which with Star Wars you have to do a lot because there's only so much you can do in a 2-3 hour film.
Yeah.
So, they produced a number of strand casts by resorting to gene splicing, but ultimately their experiments failed and achieved the desired results, leaving them with various unwanted specimens, while Sidious remained trapped within an unstable, dying cloned body. As note, Sith Eternal scientists were also familiar with the chameleon program of behavior modification, which they improved on, both in order to unsuccessfully attempt to create a mentally stable, exact, force-sensitive clone or force-sensitive standcast for their master, as well as successfully ensure the program loyalty of the Sith troopers.
Now, funny enough, the Caminos, the cloners,
yes,
were essentially the only people to actually perfect cloning.
Correct.
And while the Empire tried to steal the technology and research, they just could not replicate it to save their lives. They really couldn't.
And the thing is, too, like, there was no successful cloned, like, force sensitive.
Yeah.
Specifically. Like, okay, Omega is a little bit force sensitive, but not, like, where she can utilize the force.
Palpatine level.
But, yeah. So.
And even in Legends, they were having this problem of recreating the Clone Master's cloning abilities until Thrawn comes along and nails it somehow.
Well, even, I mean, go into, like, look at Force Unleashed 2. Like, they're trying to clone, they're cloning Starkiller, and how many attempts did they have before they got it right to where you play as the clone of Starkiller? Like, thousands.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, getting into their military. So, while the First Order became the military arm of Darth Sidious' secret or contingency, following his subsequent with Snoke as a proxy ruler as part of the Sidious' ultimate plan to grow a new Sith Empire, the Sith Eternal served as his hidden spiritual heart and maintained a vast array of military power and groups who acted as enforcers. The fleets that the cult created, composing more than 1,000 of the Zyston Star-class Star Destroyers, along with the subsequent TIE DG starfighters, fleet technicians, and Sith Eternal officers, was officially called the Final Order.
Yeah.
I get it. Final Order. It's a pun. So Sith troopers comprised of the Sith Eternal's ground forces, which were divided into legions of 5,000 troopers based on the ancient standard of a legion. A Sith trooper squad consisted of 10,000s led by a Sith trooper sergeant. These squads were configured into 3 triads, which consisted of a Sith trooper corporal leading 2 lance corporals. Legions were numerically identified, but also given the name of an ancient Sith lord. Just examples include the 3rd Revan Legion, the 5th Undeadu Legion, the 17th Tanis Legion, the 26th Tenebrous Legion, the 39th Phobos Legion, and the 44th Ducilus Legion. Sith jetpack trooper squads also consisted of 10 soldiers, and the squad names were that of weapons. Several examples include the Warblade Squad, Lanvorak Squad, and the Parang Squad.
They can fly now?
Oh my God.
What a stupid line. What a stupid line. I'm sorry, guys, but... Oh... I hated that.
Oh, Tenebris is okay. I remember this guy.
Tenebris was
the
Plagueis's master.
Yeah. Sorry,
Who
my
was
my
a
brain
Vince?
was like, my brain was thinking, what was it? Shoot, Tenebrae was my brain. My brain was thinking Tenebrae, and I was like, that's not right. There's no way they would do that. No, they did Revan though.
Yep.
They did
And
do
he's
Revan.
canonical now.
Yeah, his name
apparently.
by name alone, he is canon.
But we don't know what of his history is actually
correct, because they haven't dived into the Old Republic yet. That's why. So, despite the potential allegiance between the Sith Eternal and the First Order military, there was a degree of friction between the two groups. First Order officers were that of a pragmatic nature, which clashed with the fanaticism of the Sith cultists. General Domar Quinn and the Allegiant General Enric Pride, both whom served the First Order Supreme Council, had opposite views concerning the Sith allies.
Now, see, I can understand why there would be friction. The Sith Eternal essentially built all this up, and all of a sudden, you got these guys from nowhere coming over and says, hey, we're taking over the military now.
Right.
Bye, thanks.
Pretty much.
And Sith's like, you better be grateful, you jerks.
So, whereas Quinn disdained the Sith Eternal as a cult of mystics, Pride was more concerned with the practical advantages that the cult had to offer, their fleet in particular. Pride calculated the Sith Star Destroyers would increase the First Order's resources by 10,000-fold, more than making up for the destruction of Starkiller Base, which has led General Armitage Hux responsible. The alliance between both factions was cemented when Pride pledged himself to Sidious.
Oh, okay. So I wonder if the First Order was trying to break away from the dark side, create their own little fascist thing.
Yeah, there was friction where the more practical, or like the more like we're a military kind of a style, where we're not into the whole Sith cultist stuff. Like, we don't want any part of that. That's the friction.
Yeah, it was sort of the same in the SWTOR. The Empire proper and the Sith were technically two separate organizations, but the Sith viewed themselves higher than the Empire and therefore their subjects.
Correct.
And the Empire did not like that.
Correct. So now getting into its history. So during the Imperial era, so in 19 BBY, Darth Sidious, the Dark Lord, who masterminded the fall of the Galactic Republic and rise of the Galactic Empire, withdrew from the eye of the public in order to begin probing the secrets of the dark side in arcane Sith lore, in order to begin his quest to obtaining immortality. On Exegol, the Sith Eternal within the ancient Sith Citadel on the planet began to experiment with the science of cloning in a bid to extend with the end goal of ultimately permanently sustaining their Emperor's lifespan.
Yeah. So, essentially, the original Sith goal was to destroy the Jedi. It wasn't necessarily to take over the Republic. It was to destroy the Jedi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So Sith's like, okay, I'm kind of done. I'm going to go do my own thing now.
Pretty much. So during their service to Darth Sidious, the cult's labor and cloning experiments led to the creation of several genetic constructs, including the Elite Guard, and the start of the construction of a new fleet of Star Destroyers on the planet by the time of the Galactic Civil War. So he was already planning this stuff well in advance before the sequel era.
Oh yeah, this was his fallback option, just in case.
Well, no, this I think was his ultimate goal. It's just like he was doing in secret behind everyone's back. So, following the duel on Cloud City, Sidious, Sith apprentice Darth Vader discovered Exegol after he acquired a Sith Wayfinder from the Eye of Weblish Bog on Mustafar and used it to travel to the Hidden Planet, where he sought to uncover his Sith Master's secrets. There, at Sidious's command, Vader was attacked by the Tankers and a group of their Sith cultists, whom he killed, and witnessed Sith cultists harvesting a mountain of kyber crystals in order to power the planet-destroying cannons used by the Star Destroyers of the Final Order fleet.
Yeah, and by the way, whoever left that comment about where to start, this might be a good one, because this intrigue of Darth Vader just following along his master is such a good comic series.
Oh yeah, the Darth Vader comics in general are really good. Now getting into the New Republic era, so the deaths of Darth Sidious and Darth Vader fulfilled the Jedi prophecy that foretold the destruction of the Sith Order. In the impassable deaths of the unknown regions, however, loyalists kept the Sith religion alive even after the destruction of the two Sith Lords and sought to resurrect its tradition. Sith cultists gathered on the lost worlds of Exegol to venerate and worship the Sith Order and ancient Sith in general, while also swearing fealty to the last Sith Lord, Darth Sidious, who cheated death by using the dark side of the Force to thrust his consciousness into a clone body previously prepared by the Sith Eternal using Clone Wars era technology sometime before the Battle of Endor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is where the really cool stuff that should have been in the film is.
Wasn't.
But it wasn't in the film. So the cultists followed the Emperor's plan to extend his small Sith Empire and bring about a new fascist order across the galaxy after the Galactic Empire fell in the Galactic Civil War. With the galaxy at large assuming Emperor Palpatine was no more, their shipyards of Exegol operated in secret for decades, building a vast fleet that the galaxy was unaware of. During this time period, Exegol's human population was indoctrinated into the values of the Sith Eternal, having been raised by the cultists as their children became officers, technicians, and soldiers for the new Sith Empire. During the era, the New Republic, the Emperor's family was hunted by Uchi of Bastogne, a hunter of Sith artifacts. Uchi was associated with the Emperor's advisor, Yup Tashu, and the self-styled Acolytes of the Beyond. Though he was not Force-sensitive, Uchi believed that the dark side propelled him and shaped his actions.
Well, self-important much? Main
Pretty
character syndrome?
Yeah.
Now, hold on. Palpatine's bloodline, because he killed his family, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, his actual bloodline, yes.
Yeah.
So he captured the Emperor's cloned son, but failed to locate his daughter, Rey, who was left on Jakku for her own safety. After failing to coerce the parents' info revealing the girl's location, Ochi used his dagger to kill Rey's father and her mother. Ochi later perished on Pasana before he could find Rey and bring her to Exegol.
Now, is this the same knife that leads to the secret vault on this?
Yes.
That's so stupid.
It's
anyway,
we're going to skip that part. Now, the First Order Resistance War. So, in their quest to restore the Sith, the cultists deemed Vader's grandson, the Dark Warrior Kylo Ren, a potential heir to the Sith legacy. Ren's own master, Supreme Leader Snoke, was a product of the Sith Eternal's machinations. Snoke was a Strandcast, an artificial genetic construct concocted by Sidious to lead the First Order as his proxy. He was also one of several identical clones, which were stored in a vat on Exegol.
So now we are established this isn't Sidious. It was just a little puppet for Sidious to use.
It was a puppet. So the Sith Eternal designed Snoke to test Ren's worthiness to become the Sith's inheritor. Ren was subjugated to trials and molded him into the master of tact and cunning. Despite having the will of his own, Snoke's role was to serve as a final crucible in Ren's descent into darkness. By outmaneuvering and assassinating his master, Ren passed the last test in his apprenticeship and designed by the Sith Eternal.
And this outmaneuvering and assassinating your master is the final test in the Sith.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because you can't get ahead unless, the person above you is gone. And how do you get person above you gone?
There can only be two.
Assassinate them!
There can only be two. So, using Vader's Wayfinder to locate Exegol, the new Supreme Leader discovered the secrets of the Sith Eternal, including the clandestine operation, and Darth Sidious, whom Clone's body continued deteriorating in spite of his followers' efforts to keep him alive. Ren came to realize that he was the heir of the vast Sith Empire, which he was forged by the cult. Go on.
No, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking here. The reason why the clone bodies kept failing for...
it's due to the midichlorians and the Force itself. That's why they were deteriorating.
And a natural buildup, because Sidious was able to slowly build up. These clone bodies don't have a chance to build up all that power he has.
Correct. So, bidden by Sidious to kill the Jedi apprentice Rey, Ren accepted the mantle but felt no indebtedness to the Sith cultists who groomed him to become the new emperor. Although he resolved to fulfill his grandfather's legacy, Ren was unwilling to return to a subsequent state, having sacrificed so much to gain power and independence. Yeah, he gained all his power. He did not want to, I don't want to be a servant to a master again. Why would I do that?
Yeah, and just as a reminder, Kylo Ren's grandfather is Anakin Skywalker, a.k.a. Darth Vader.
Yep. If you haven't seen the films, go watch the films. The Resistance learned that the Sith Eternal through a First Order spy, General Hux, who sought to undermine Ren and to make him lose the war by supplying information to his enemies. Commander Poe Dameron briefed the Resistance on Agent Kloss, where he confirmed the fidelity of Emperor Palpatine's transmission, revealing that the Emperor was alive once more and that his followers were prepared to unleash an armada of planet-killing warships.
No comment. Keep moving. I don't want to say anything.
After losing Ren, who reclaimed the identity as Ben Solo upon the sacrifice of his mother and Resistance leader General Leia Skywalker Organa Solo, Darth Sidious cultivated Rey as his sole successor. Knowing the girl to be his granddaughter, the Dark Lord not only offered the throne of the Sith to Rey, but also urged her to kill him in anger to allow his spirit to pass into her body. By then, the Callisto-class Star Destroyers Dairyfound had destroyed the planet Yajimi as a show of force. As the Sith Eternal's fleet prepared to depart from Exegol, the Resistance fleet made a desperate attempt to prevent the cult from returning to the galaxy to the rule of the Sith.
Yeah. Cultivating his... I don't know. Is it technically his daughter or granddaughter or daughter?
I would say granddaughter. The daughter doesn't sound right. No, it's granddaughter.
Because
Let's stay with granddaughter.
The father is a clone of him.
Yeah. Let's just say granddaughter and be done with it. Because saying the father is just wrong in so many levels. Let's say granddaughter. Because technically, his clone you could count him as a son. Like, theoretically, that's kind of how it's... Because it is, of his DNA, but not him, exactly.
Yeah.
So, alright, so the Sith Eternal tried to prevent Solo from reaching the throne room, in contrast to how they previously welcomed him when he was still Kylo Ren. Sensing Solo's presence through their bond, Rey stayed her hand rather than giving into the dark side. His plans thwarted, the Dark Lord attacked both Jedi and discovered that the power of their bond was the key to restoring his strength. Sidious therefore disregarded the notion of being succeeded and reclaimed his formal title of Emperor, having successfully siphoned enough energy from the prophesized Dryad of the Force to become Dyad in the Force to become whole again.
So here's my question: Did Palpatine plan on possessing Rey?
Yes.
Or just giving her his power and wisdom?
No, he was going to straight up possess her body.
So why
that was the whole point.
Oh, boy.
So once restored, Sidious reassured his followers that their resistance and their allies were doomed to fail. However, as the reborn Emperor unleashed a chain of force lightning into the sky, destroying or disabling his opponent's vessels, Rey called on the spirits of all the Jedi to help her vanquish the Dark Lord of the Sith. The resulting explosion of the force energy destroyed Sidious's body and caused the Citadel's ceiling to collapse, crushing the thousands of cultists who worship their master's destruction, or witness their master's destruction.
By the way, that force lightning into the sky was the
pretty
dopest
cool.
thing. Though.
That was pretty cool. Not gonna lie, that was pretty cool.
that was like the biggest force lightning we ever seen.
So
in Legends or canon.
Yeah. So their demise, combined with the Final Order's decisive defeat, marked the destruction of the cult and prevented the return of the Sith in the year 35 ABY. Without the promised reinforcements, the First Order's military crumbled under a pan-galactic uprising, ending with the First Order's defeat in the First Order Resistance War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There you go. And then behind the scenes, so the Sith Eternal appeared in the final film of the Star Wars saga, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. It was first identified in the Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker Visual Dictionary, which was released on the same day as the film, December 20th, 2019. And in the Star Wars Legends continuity, a cult known as the Prophets of the Dark Side bear similarities to the Sith Eternal. Both cultists date back generations before the events of the Skywalker Saga, were based in the hidden worlds with ancient ties to the Sith. Its members wore black robes and appeared in a secret and served Darth Sidious as they helped further his dark side goals by manipulating the course of the galactic events and ensure the outcome. Which,
wow, Disney
granted,
is not
like
shy about...
They straight up, like,
Yeah.
bits and pieces from that, like, because that was the original series where Sidious was coming back. Like, that's the Prophets of the Dark Side and everything. That's where his return in Legends was from. Because, fun fact, Disney didn't do it first. Sidious came back twice in Legends, not just
Twice
once.
Or just once.
He came back twice in Legends, not just once, twice.
I know one time he was resurrected on another planet with a bunch of clones, and then he killed himself with Force Storm. How did he come back a second time?
I don't remember the exact moment, but I know it was twice because me and Austin went over it, and that he's came back twice. So
Really?
Yeah. So Disney, no, what you can't be mad at Disney for bringing back Palpatine because they weren't the first ones to do it. Now you can be mad with them for literally doing it completely out of context because that
doing
was
it badly.
The way they wrote it and like, hey, we're gonna fill in the plot holes with comics and books.
It's like, nah, he came back.
Let's not do that. Like, guys need to add a little bit more of a context to this stuff, but whatever. But that is what we have today on both the Acolytes of the Beyond and the Sith Eternal.
Yep.
Do you have any final thoughts or anything on it?
There are just crazy people in the galaxy.
Oh my God!
Who will
yes.
believe anything.
Yes, and that's just not in the fictional. That's in real life too. I mean, we have the cult of the spaghetti monster for a reason.
I think that's just a
That's a religion. That's a joke. That's a legitimate religion. It is.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Yep, I know. Hey, but the Force, being a Jedi, is also a legitimate religion nowadays. So just give you a heads up there. It was when I was in high school.
No, in the UK, it's like 15% of the population identify.
Did you know we have a Jedi temple in New York?
Really?
Yeah, it was there when I was in high school, back in 2009 to 13. Yeah, I'm dating myself, but anyway, yeah, we have a Jedi temple in New York. So
Temple of the Jedi Order. Okay, I'm gonna look this up now.
Mm-hmm. It's a legitimate thing. You can be a Jedi religiously and put yourself as a Jedi. Now, it's a different from they believe in the Force, but not obviously the magical, like moving objects and pushing people and stuff. But like of it being a thing, like controlling the way of the galaxy and life and stuff like that. So they believe in like the metaphors and all that stuff.
I have their statement about what. I have their statement about what they believe. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
We believe in the Force and in the inherent worth of all life within it. In the sanctity of human person, we oppose the use of torture and cruel and unusual punishment, including the death penalty. In society governed by laws grounded in reason and compassion, not in fear or prejudice. In society that does not discriminate on the bias of sexual orientation or criticism of birth such as gender, ethnicity, and national origin. In the ethics of oh God, you're right. Words are hard.
Oh man, I had that sound clip down too,
and how moral concepts are not absolute but vary by culture, religion, and over time. In the positive influence of spiritual growth and awareness on society, in the importance of freedom and consciousness and self-determination within religions, political, and other structures, and separation of religion, government, and the freedom of speech, association, and expression.
Yeah, there you go. That's the Jedi religion, like legit Jedi religion. That's a thing. So.
And they got sermons.
Oh God. Oh yeah, you don't have to do that. we're not. I'm not like I like the Force and Star Wars. Just I don't know about real life. Anyway, but everybody, thank you again for listening to Holocron Histories, and may the Force be with you.
Thank you for listening to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon versus Legends. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and love for the Star Wars lore. And don't forget, for the Republic!